Good morning, students. Till yet we have completed the chapter 3, section 2 of integral equations. In that chapter, we completed the method of successive approximations for Fredholm and Volterra integral equations of second kind. Today we will start chapter 4, which is in the second section. The chapter is Classical Fredholm Theory. In the classical Fredholm theory, we will discuss the integral equations in which the function f and the kernel k, they are any integrable functions. In the previous chapter, we used the integral equations in which the function f and the kernel k were square integrable functions. But here, in this integral equation, this function f and the kernel k, they can be any integrable functions. So the first topic is Fredholm method of solution. So in order to discuss the method, let us consider the Fredholm integral equation of second kind given by Gs is equal to Fs plus lambda integral a to b kst gt dt. Here this function and the kernel, they are any integrable functions. Now let us divide the interval AB into n equal parts by taking the points of division. S1 is equal to T1, we have taken as A. S2 is equal to T2, which we have taken is equal to A plus H. S3 is equal to T3, which is further is equal to A plus 2H, and so on. The last one, Sn is equal to Tn, which is further is equal to A plus n minus 1 into H. Here H is given by B minus A divided by n. Now using these parts, the given integral equation can be written as Gs is equal to Fs plus lambda इंटीग्रल a to b जो था वो अब हमारा पार्ट्स में डिवाइड हो गया, सो डैट कैन बी रिटन एज इंटीग्रल a to a plus h, क्योंकि पहला पार्ट जो है a to a plus h तक है, k s s1 g s1 d s1 प्लस इंटीग्रल a plus h to a plus 2h k s s2 g s2 d s2 and so on. The last integral is a plus n minus 1 into h to a plus nh k ssn gsn dsn. Now because we know that every integral can be written as the limit of sum, so we have the approximation formula gs is equal to fs plus lambda into h summation kssj gsj. Here j varies from 1 to n. Now because this equation holds for all the s lying in the open interval AB, so in particular this equation is satisfied at our points of division also. Our points of division are S1, S2, S3 and so on Sn. So we can use this equation for our points S1, S2, S3 and so on up to Sn. So for in general, for replacing S is equal to Si, we get GSI is equal to FSI plus lambda H summation J varies from 1 to n K SI Sj into GSJ. Here I varies from 1 to n. Now let us use some symbols. F of Si we have denoted by Fi, G of Si we have denoted by Gi, and K Si Sj, this we have denoted by Kij. So using all these symbols, the previous integral equation, can be written as Gi is equal to Fi plus lambda H summation Kij Gij Gj, where J varies from 1 to n. Here I varies from 1 to n. So this is a system of n linear equations in n unknowns. Those unknowns are g1, g2, g3 and so on gn. The values of the functions gi's are obtained by solving this system of equations, and by solving this system we get the approximate solutions of the given integral equation at the points s1, s2, s3 up to sn. And also by putting I is equal to 1 and j 1 to n, we get the one of the equation in g1, g2, g3 up to gn. In this way, by putting I is equal to 2 and j varying from 1 to n, we get second equation in g1, g2, g3 and gn, and so on. For I is equal to n, we get last equation which is in unknowns g1, g2, g3 and gn. So we can write the corresponding determinant dn lambda, which is called the resolvent determinant for the above algebraic system. So by putting I is equal to 1 and varying j from 1 to n in this equation, we get the coefficients of g1, g2, g3, gn, which are given by 1 minus lambda h k11 minus lambda h k12. The last one is minus lambda h k1n. Similarly, if we put I is equal to 2 and j varying from 1 to n in the third equation, we get the coefficients of g1 as minus lambda h k21, the coefficient of g2 that will be 1 minus lambda h k22, the coefficient of gn will be minus lambda h k2n. So in this way we can obtain the second row of this resolvent determinant, and continuing in this way, if we put I is equal to n in and j varying from 1 to n in the third equation, we get the coefficient of g1 will be minus lambda h kn1, the coefficient of g2 will be minus lambda h kn2, and so on. The coefficient of gn, that will be 1 minus lambda h knn. So in this way we get the last row of the resolvent determinant. So this is the resolvent determinant of the algebraic system given by the equation 3. And if we put this determinant is equal to 0, we get the approximate eigenvalues, which are given by putting this determinant is equal to 0. Now let us see a problem based on this method. So the problem is solve the integral equation gs minus lambda integral 0 to pi sin s plus t gt dt is equal to 0. We'll solve this equation by using this Fredholm method of solution. So firstly we will have to take the points of division. So we have taken n is equal to 3 and h is equal to pi by 3. So now taking s1 and t1 is equal to 0, s2 and t2 is equal to pi by 3, and s3 and t3 is equal to 2 pi by 3. Now let us find the values of kij. Now by using the symbols, what is k11, that is k s1 s1. So k s1 s1 means sin s1 plus s1. Now s1 is 0, so that will become sin 0. Sin 0 is 0, so we get the value of k11 from here. In the same way you can find the value of k12. If you are to find k12, so what will be k12? That will be k s1 s2. K s1 s2 means sin s1 plus s2. Sin s1 plus s2. S1 is 0, s2 is pi by 3. So that will become sin pi by 3. Sin pi by 3 means sin 60. Under 3 by 2. Under 3 by 2 means 0.866. Now to find k13. K13 will be k s1 s3. So k s1 s3 means s1 is 0, s3 is 2 pi by 3. So that will become sin 2 pi by 3. Sin 2 pi by 3 is also under 3 by 2, which is 0.866. Now to find k21. K21 means k s2 s1. K s2 s1 means sin s2 plus s1. Sin s2 plus s1 means sin pi by 3. Sin pi by 3 is 0.866. Similarly, k22, that will also be sin pi by 3, which is 0.866. And next k23, k23 that will be sin pi, that will be 0. K31 that will also be sin pi by 3. Next k32, k32 that will also be sin pi, which is 0. So in this way you can find all the values, and Now we have obtained all the Ki's, so we can put all these values here in the resolvent determinant. Having the first row 1 minus lambda h k11 minus lambda h k12 minus lambda h k1n and so on. The last row is minus lambda h kn1 minus lambda h kn2 and so on, 1 minus lambda h knn. So putting all the values of k11, k12, k1n, k21, 22, 2n and so on, substituting all these values in this determinant, we get the resolvent determinant of the system, which is dn lambda. Now let us put this system is equal to 0, because the system will have a non-trivial solution if this determinant is 0. So if we put this determinant is equal to 0, we get 1 minus 3 into 0.0907 whole square into lambda square is equal to 0. Solving this equation, we get the value of lambda, which is plus minus 0.6365. So these are the approximate values obtained. So this was the first topic of this chapter, which is Fredholm method of solution.